not be doing it quite right. But I'm going to keep at it and see if I can do something with it. I'll tell you what, let's do his helmet this colour as well. There we are. Like this. We can always come back. Well, not a case of we can always come back. We will be coming back and highlighting this. This is not the final colour, as always. This is we're just blocking in colour at the moment. We need to add shadow detail. Well, we need to add the shadows with the wash and then highlight up to make it stand out a little more. But so far, all is going well. I must be looking at this mini the right way because nothing's snapped on it yet. But who knows. Let's go right in the middle here with that. That's better, that's nicer. Okay. So make sure everything on the helmet is done. There we are. Happy with that? Okay, so next job. I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to do the wrappings around his arms and legs. So what colour do I want for that? Skeleton bone. I'll give this a good shake again. Always give your paints a good shake, no matter how long they've been standing. Even if you've not long since opened them and you're using them again, just give them a good shake, just to make sure it's all mixed. Because it doesn't take much for these for the pigments to settle. Okay, so we'll run this all down the back of the legs and on the wavy bits here. Just this there we are. And that and let's not much difference between the skin tone and the skeleton bone, is there? But there is difference enough. It does stand out adequately. Alrighty then, so I'm going to try and do this time, turning the palette around. I'm going to try and do this time is go back into this colour we used for the leather straps and run it over the straps for the shield. and also run this over the area that I caught with the whatchamacallit, caught with the skeleton bone. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. And that's that. Alrighty then. Quite happy with that so far. Next job. Shield. Oh, gold. Just killed him. Azure Magic. Again, this is one of the metallic paints from the metallic colour sets. The set that Hermes paints are sent. There we are. Give it another quick shake, make sure. And then we pop it onto our... Look at that! Look at that for a colour! God, isn't it gorgeous? Sorry, I do get carried away sometimes. And we will just apply it all over the shield. When I say all over the shield, I mean around the raised areas, or the flat areas of the shield is what I should have said. Because I mean, if you get some on the flat area, don't worry too much about it, because let's face it, it's going to be painted over anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But you'll see what I'm doing in a bit when it comes down to the cloth areas here, because I'm going to use the same colours for that I'm using for the shield. In fact, I'm going to go all over the shield. That could probably be the easiest way of doing this, to make sure I don't miss anywhere. The only bits I'm not going to paint is the central cartouche. I think it's called a cartouche. I've referred to it as a cartouche before. I think that's the actual name for it. And I've just got some of this all over the centre bits that I said I wasn't painting. I'm good at doing that. I say I'm not going to do something, but I'm promptly go and do it. Oh dear. I still can't get over the pigment of these. The pigment in these, because I've mentioned it before that I've got artist colours that are supposedly metallic, you know, for painting pictures, and the pigment is atrocious in it. You have to put a colour underneath it in order to get any form of coverage, whereas with this going straight on grey, it's covered really, really nicely. There we are. Right. Oh, I wanted to do that little bit there, didn't I? With this, I'll do that little bit there. And there's that bit on his shoulder as well. And there we are. That's nice. Very nice indeed. Anywhere else I want to do this? No, there isn't. That is it. So I'm quite happy with that. We've got the front of the shield and the metal straps behind it, that part there, and the bit on his chest. And next, what's the next colour I want to use? I have not put it in here, have I? I have. It's not that one. It's that one. This is for the bits around the hem of his, I don't want to say skirts, but I don't know what else to call it. Mouldy clothes. Let's bring you back. Right, let's see if I can do this without screwing up. It's quite rough. Looking at the top, it's not this item of clothing as I'm trying to work it out what things are. It doesn't look like it would be that item of clothing. It could be the top of this, I don't know. So I may yet come back and paint the top of that in that leather brown. I don't know, but there we are, we'll see later on. Okay, so next job is the leaves on the front of the shield, and for that we're going to be using glitter green. Yes. I bet that came as a big surprise to you, didn't it? Okay, I'm going to try and do this again without messing up the turquoise areas. Oh, wish me luck. Right, I'm not going to have a lot of paint on my brush for this. There we go. It's there, but it's not really dark enough, unfortunately. I think what I might do is take some of this dark colour. This was the night scales, was it? Night scale. I'll mix some of that in with it. A little bit more. Because we want a fairly darkish colour. Yeah, hopefully this will be a little better. No, not really. But we can just keep at it and keep building up the colour. That's the way it works. If it's not quite enough or not quite right first time, you just keep going with it and keep going with it, building up the colours until you get to the shade you want. And yeah. doesn't look too bad. Now, I'm going to use some of the older colour. I'm going to use this for this part here. This is the Monster Brown. I'm going to go over all the tassels as well, but I may change the colour. In fact, I will change the colour with this. I just want to have a base coat to work off with it. There we are. Happy with that. And now his boots. Bear with me on this one. Alien purple. Okay. That's not going how I wanted. Never mind. I don't know why I've done this now, because I need to go back into this colour to highlight it later. Let's try that colour. See how that works. It doesn't seem too bad. There we are. I'm happy with that. So next all we need to do is wash. Now we do have him stood on some like rock here, but we'll sort that out when we come around to basing later on. And that's definitely not something that I'm bothered about now. I'm just going to go over the ones that I know here at the back are actually straps for holding the armour on, and not the wrappings. There we are. I'm happy with that, and as I say now, it's just a case of wash. So, for the skin, the wash we're going to be using is soft skin wash. Now, as I've said before, I usually add a wash all over with one colour, but this time I'm not doing. This one is going to be just for the skin, and we'll pick another one for the rest of him. I thought there was more than that, which is why I put a bit more out. Thing is, with wash I either put too much out or not enough, and it does get ever so slightly annoying sometimes. Okay, so that's that. And oops, there we go. And now for the rest of it, I'm going to turn this round so I don't use the same one accidentally. I'm going to use, not that one, where have you gone? There you are. I'm going to use mid brown for the wrappings and the leather and the what you can call it, the fur, and that's that. We can't do anything more now with this until the wash has dried. I haven't finished with the wash yet. I have another colour to put on. I'm also going to do, I'm just going to put it on here as well. There we are. And so I'm going to do another wash. I just need to find it first of all. Here we are. Green tone. And we'll pop that there. And this is just going to be going over his, on the green and turquoise areas here. There we are, so that's it so far. We can't do, as I say, any more to this until the wash has dried. So I'll let it dry, and you can join me when it is dried, and we will continue. Right, we're back. I noticed a little bit of an issue we had when I came back and took the lid off the wet pallets. All the colours had run together. So we're starting with a fresh, clean palette. So, now this is what we have so far. Not too bad. It's okay. What I do want to do is re-establish on the colours in the, or re-establish the base colour in the skin. So how we do that is by using the amber skin once more. Put some more of that on our palette. There we are. And I'm going to brush into it, and we're hitting on the raised areas once again. We've done this time and time again before, but as I say, we're hitting the raised areas. Now we're going all the way around the mini, and as I say, just picking out areas that are raised up. We do not want to go into any shadows. Not any shadows, any recesses, should I say. Because if we go into the recesses, what's going to happen is it's going to kill the wash that we put on. So we definitely don't want to do that. All we want to do is just hit this up as what's the word I'm looking for? Just to redefine the flesh tone that we used. So it brings it out from the what's the word I'm looking for? It brings it out from the wash, and that's the kind of thing we're looking for. We're not looking for full coverage. And let's just make sure, however, that all the flesh areas that needs covering gets covered. There we go. And again, anywhere that looks a bit iffy, shall we say, for want of a better phrase, not quite right with the moulding, can always put that, you can always hide that with a little bit of blood effect paint later on, after we've added the varnish. And again, we're covering everywhere where this colour was done before. I've added a little too much in with this, but we may use it for the next mini. I don't know yet. So that's that done. Next we want not that one, not that one, not that one. This is what we want. Kraken Skin. And this is going to be another one that we use for highlighting the, in fact, we don't want to use that yet, do we? Because we're not highlighting yet. We are re-establishing the colours. So we'll go into mouldy clothes again, and we will add that to our palette. And here, all we're going to do is just go around and just touch here and there. Hope you can see this. I'm just going to touch here and there on the, again, raised areas. Of these garments that he's wearing. Not, once again, we're not going into the recesses all that much. There we are. That will do. You don't see much of that one, to be honest, because it's fairly similar to what's already there, but we need to do it because it just helps in the long run. Next, we're going to go back into leather brown. I'm re-showing on the bottles because, as I said, we've lost the original layout on the palette, so just showing you what we're using. And with this, we are going in to establish all the little diamond shapes here, as well as go over the top of this belt, because I do believe that this is the top area of an undergarment rather than part of the belt. And I know it's something that goes all the way around and not just that, because it's at the front as well, as you can probably see. So there we are. So we just need to go through with this and make sure that all of these little raised areas on the legs are done. A long boring job, I know, but it's worth it. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly. And that's about it, really. I'm going to make sure that this is done properly. Right at the very top of the mini, where it comes into contact with the flesh areas. There we are.